Stetson,
What's up?
How's it going, buddy?
What's going on,
Dude,
man?
how are you doing today?
Oh, man. Today, Saturday,
Right?
for only a little while longer.
Man, yeah, just an hour or two. Where are we at? 11? So it's 11 on a Saturday night.
Jeez, man.
So-
The weekends are short.
Dude, no, for sure. It definitely flies by.
I
But,
vote for a 3-day weekend, 4-day work week.
right. I'll tell you, if you're not working at all like I am right now, it doesn't even make a difference. I mean, people are like, what'd you do this weekend? It's like, oh, was it weekend? Like, man, who knew?
Yeah, but
So-
you strategize not to work, so you're good.
A little bit, yeah. No, people think I'm a lazy fuck, but I worked my ass off, and I
Yeah.
made some risks with that money. Like,
Yeah.
when people, like, they thought Bitcoin was crazy. Like, go fuck off. Like, who's laughing now? So, but now I'm at a point where, it's not, I'm a little over it, but
Understandable.
who knows? But no, I'm glad you're doing this with me. We talked about what to chat about. I mean, there's a lot to cover. I've only known you here now probably like a year and a half. How long has it been? Maybe a little under 2 years. So how we met is I love it. That kind of shit is hysterical. It's the shit I live for.
Definitely.
But more than anything, though, I guess we're gonna talk today about some weed, right?
talk about
I think it's something relevant to talk about right
the
now.
number one flower in the world.
Right. The
You
number
know?
one crop in the world that's also just illegal,
The most illegal, legal, hated, frowned upon, loved. What else?
Per capita, it's more than corn.
Worshipped.
No, for sure. It might
Yeah.
have come from aliens. Who knows?
Who knows,
There's
man?
some crazy shit out there.
Definitely.
So, but no, the craziest thing with me with weed is just, how it's societally changed. I mean, look how fast it's changed in the last 20, 30 years.
Oh
of
yeah, I
us.
mean, literally, look how many billionaires have become billionaires over
Right.
marijuana. You
Oh,
know,
for sure. And
crazy.
like, shout and respect to Elon Musk, who's like, fuck this. Like, watch the world like collapse under it, making a big issue.
I think if my mind microprocessed as much as Elon Musk, I probably would smoke a little bit more weed than I already do now.
Right? No, probably slow him down. That's why he's crazy, But that I don't know. I don't know if he's truly managing like 4 different corporations. That's a ton of work.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's probably smart enough to strategize and put people in place where he only has to like just push them in the right direction to
Right.
make everything right.
And he's just got the big balls to make huge
Hands
moves.
free.
Right.
Hands free.
Man, but no, it's crazy to me how like smoking, I guess, is more and more acceptable, over the years. Like it's kind of getting to a point where it's like this is ridiculous. Like it's absolutely. What are you doing over there? I thought we talked about this.
Oh,
no, I'm just
okay.
fucking with you, dude. It's cool. I don't give a shit.
Man,
But-
so marijuana is the new everything drug. It's the new crack. It's the new heroin. It's the new.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that.
Okay, maybe not going that far.
That's a jump of an analogy,
But as far as I guess, the popularity, it's definitely went to number one significantly.
Right.
It's the number one across the world, man.
I believe it.
I have a friend in Africa right now, like deep in Africa in Uganda. And he's smoking like a champ right now.
Really?
Like he's smoking weed every day in Uganda. No worries, no.
Yeah,
no
it's
anything.
like whatever. Like,
yeah.
who
I
cares?
mean, he's literally like living his life. He's just over
Right.
there, So
Well, and I know in other countries too, like India, it's like such a non-issue, but actually one that's even crazier that I've heard. I don't know how true this is, but they talk about North Korea, right? They might have all that crazy government, that we get and understand, but apparently weed is 100% legal, and like they just don't give a shit. They even say like, oh,
in North Korea, because in Japan it's like frowned upon.
Yeah, no,
like,
in Japan you bring a gram, and you're gonna get like a fucking
Time.
your head chopped off or whatever. They don't fuck around in Japan.
Yeah, that's
But-
crazy.
Well-
Shouts out to North Korea.
Yeah, no, apparently, and it's
Kim
double
Jong-un?
check that. Yeah, I suppose whichever ill son, but like there's even a law that's like you can't use a picture of the great leader's face to roll a joint. Like I remember that's what I read.
Oh, wow.
So. But no, Japan on the other hand, though, they I think this is funny. They're so strict because they definitely had a meth problem there in the 40s.
Oh yeah, I mean the opium, came from there. It originated from that area. So
I don't know how much opium was in Japan as much as China.
oh,
but-
China, well,
Right, but
in the same area.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
I'm
like-
sure it leaked over.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but no, what's crazy with the opium, man, is in history at one point in time, like the European powers or Britain was like, hey, China, we're going to pay you in opium for all your goods and services. And they're like, no, you're not. And they're like, yes, we are. And next thing you know, you had an all-out war because people didn't want to take drugs as payment.
Yeah, man.
So that was only in the, I think, like 1800s.
I don't know about now. I think more people would be open to drug trade.
Man, right? Like,
I think it'd be open. It's almost like
we'll trade you some corn for some heroin.
Yeah, right.
Like,
It's so funny. It's almost like when the commercials, the Trident commercials, let me pay you in gum.
Oh, of
They're
course.
like, give me the gum.
And the other guy comes around and punches you because it lasts too long. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, but man, it's just different now, man. Marijuana is the mainstream drug that is publicized, fantasized, created in minds, and abused as well.
Right.
There's definitely a lot of abuse in marijuana. I can talk specifically in the black community, where some people smoke weed and don't want to do anything at all, And I don't know, man. I've never been that way. Like when I smoke, I'm kind of more energetic. I'm ready to, we're musicians and we're artists, so we're ready to create more, I guess, based off that high. I don't even call it a high anymore,
I definitely get that aspect, and ultimately everyone's different when it comes to drugs.
Oh,
because
definitely.
I mean, I know plenty of people that straight have like terror or paranoia when they smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Other people that turn into a couch and order $24 with the Chick-fil-A.
That guy at the garage that night.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, he hit my marijuana and he like took off.
Oh, for sure. He next thing you know, we're like, dude, where'd you go? And he's like, I hit your buddy's weed and I freaked out. Sorry. So to each their own. And
shout out to those great weed plugs out here, man. Shout out to you guys.
Right. Those are the true unsung heroes.
Yeah, the unsung heroes,
they're putting their lives on the line.
They're keeping like mental health down in every community.
Right.
Shout out to you guys, man.
100%. So.
Guys don't get a lot of credit and you kind of get frowned upon, but you are the true unsung heroes.
I'm all about the freedom of a plant. So
definitely.
Like, why can't we do? Yeah, that's fucking dumb. So
the class laws, the class of what marijuana is
like
ranked
schedules,
at.
Yeah,
the
schedules 1 through 5. Yeah, it's Schedule 1.
Man.
That thing's total bullshit. Like, what is it? Schedule 1, no medical application or use whatsoever. I think it's categorized as like.
And that's clearly a lie. Like, come on, man, you got people.
Right. You have meth as a number 4. Like,
I mean, the movie Lorenzo's Oil came out, I don't know how many years ago, and they used THC oil to cure his seizures. And
oh, right.
Yeah, I mean, it was the biggest phenomenon at the time,
Well, even, all the CBD, man.
You partaking?
I'm all right.
Okay.
Nah, I don't mind it. I'm not huge on it. I'd actually, that brings over to kind of a point, the other side of it. You say you get really energetic and you get moving and everything. I think for a lot of other people, you kind of said it in a way, but it makes them okay with doing nothing sometimes. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes people need to chill out.
Yeah, if you think about like Detroit, Michigan, they legalized marijuana in Detroit, and instantly overnight the crime rate dropped immediately. You know, so there goes the point of not wanting to do anything compared to the nervous energy and anxiety that we experience a lot in the world, and going and doing things based off emotion that we probably shouldn't dwell on as much. Marijuana does kind of give you that limbo effect of whether you're like, I don't know, I probably shouldn't act on that. Let me just go ahead and just relax and chill.
Right.
Instead of being kind of high strung and high wired, ready to go and do something.
Well, and then as well, like I always look at it from like a level of economic consumerism, right? Like what's, more sustainable? Like go home, smoke a few joints, chill and laugh, or, go to the movies, go shopping, go jet ski. Like, I mean, just whatever, commercial consumerism they just are out to put there for you.
Definitely.
But when it comes to legality, though, I'm trying to remember the phrase, drugs aren't illegal because they're dangerous. They're dangerous because they're illegal, right?
This is true.
And all across the board. And at the end of the day, alcohol, people are going to fight and beat each other's ass. Weed, bro.
I mean, let's just go ahead and keep it real. Drugs funded the government for so many years. Nixon with this war on drugs, when he was secretly bringing in more drugs than anybody in the whole world.
Right. I forget how the timeline works out, but with all the CIA trafficking.
Right.
That's it's absurd. And I mean, that it's a conspiracy that turned out to be true. The guy that reported on it just happened to, die. What is it? 2 gunshots to the back of the head. Get the fuck out of here. But who knows? It's becoming more acceptable. I mean, and I think I told you this the other day. I was looking up Raleigh police facts or whatever, trying to just get an idea. Just curious in my own community. What are the arrest charges? Or And one, it's really hard to find a lot of drug-related arrests. But I found on another source that was basically saying that Raleigh ranks 11th in the most arrests in the United States for weed-related charges. Right?
I'd love to see the age demographic on that. I guarantee it's like right at 17 to 26.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And I'm guessing it'd be 85 to 87% African American.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you and say that blacks would be incarcerated more. Definitely wouldn't disagree. Maybe not that high of a statistic. But
I mean, as far as just the arrest rate in Raleigh, I think so.
I would be more curious about the conviction rate versus the charge rate, to be honest.
Yeah, but when you get a conviction rate with somebody who doesn't even have enough money to go to court or the means or funds,
sure.
you know, it's kind of them being shitted on anyway.
Absolutely. So it's like you're already on the ground and someone's continuously kicking you.
And then you're dealing with some court-appointed attorney,
who doesn't give a shit.
Well, who's already friends with the DA, you know, so it's just make a deal and you pay money or, you know, you give your time. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a wild statistic.
Well, so let me ask, have you had any run-ins with the law, or like as far as, you know, weed-related? Because, you know, we are in North Carolina.
Right.
Especially Raleigh. And, you know, to add to that, we rank 11th in weed arrests, but we're like 42nd in population. So, I mean, use that kind of as a comparison.
And we were like number one places to retire and move to just about a year or two ago, and number one in jobs too. So it's it's crazy, you know, the up and down type factor of it. But yeah, man, I had a run in with the law with marijuana once in my life, you know, thank God, because I am an avid weed smoker. So yeah, I was in South Carolina. I was in school at a small junior college called Clinton Junior College in Rock Hill, South Carolina. And we were at University Place on Winthrop University campus, which is like.
How old were you?
I think I was 19 or 20 because I had stayed out of school for like a year and a half and then finally decided to go to college. So we're at this party and it's like a dorm suite. You know, you walk in, it's the common area with the kitchen. Then it's the, you know, the left room, right room. So we were in my buddy's room. He actually went to Clinton, but he stayed at University Place. So it's like 10 of us over there, and you know we kind of like close knit because Clinton Junior College, the student population is like 120.
Oh, right.
So everybody knew each other.
Yeah,
it was literally like maybe 7 whole buildings with the whole campus.
Right. So
everybody knew each other, and we were over there. And long story short, we were smoking weed over there, and I kind of was the weed guy back then. And it's so funny. All the weed was gone. We had smoked all the weed, and I had kept like 2 grams for myself.
Right.
And
they're like, I got hit by a astounding stench of marijuana odor.
Right. No, it wasn't even that though. So the guy who was his suite mate wanted to come over and party with us, but you know, nobody knew him like that. So my guy that we knew, he didn't let him come over. You know, he was just like, nah, you know, not we don't know you like that. You know, no disrespect.
Right.
But you know, we're not about to let you party with us.
No,
like
absolutely.
That's kind of hella weird. You know, we got 10 people who know each other very well, and you
just a random person trying to implicate themselves with you.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he calls the police on us.
What?
Yeah.
Because
he wouldn't,
out of spite.
Yeah, out of spite. He didn't. You know, he wasn't invited to the party,
shit.
and you know he couldn't come in. So, boom, boom, boom on the door.
Right.
The first thing I say is, don't open that door. There was like a little side window, like the low ground window, where we could have opened it. All could have got out. You know, we could have walked off. Everything would have been fine. You know? No, it was no weed in the room anyway that was being smoked at the time. I guess it was just the linger of what we had been smoking already. So, as I'm saying, don't open the door. There's a girl reaching for the door already.
Absolutely. Did she open the door?
Oh, yeah, she was in motion. So as I see her in motion, I take the 2 grams I had, I shove it in between the mattress. So the police come in. They're like, everybody
smell it.
Yeah, everybody get up. These 2 girls were hiding in the closet. So they were like, yeah, we know you guys are in the closet too, so come out. So they came out the closet. They were like, yeah, we smell the weed. Where's the weed at? Tell us where the weed is. Like the weed's gone, you know what I'm saying?
It's like,
it's over. We smoked it, you know what I'm saying? So, anywho, this is so crazy. So, they arrest all of us. Like, they're like, you guys are smoking in the dorm room. That's against the law, against the policy. Yeah, we didn't find any weed, but we know you guys are smoking. Like, really,
And did they like handcuff you? Did you get handcuffed? Or?
They handcuffed all of us together.
Like all 10 of you?
All 10 of us, what chain gang style. I don't even know. There were only 2 cops at the time before they called the paddy wagon.
Right.
And they had, I don't know how many fucking
there was
sets
like
of
an
handcuffs.
obscenely excessive amount of cops.
Man, no, it was only 2 cops.
Oh, just the entire time?
I said there was an excessively amount of cuffs.
They
had
gotcha.
each of them had like 6 pair of cuffs apiece. This was fucking
came
crazy.
Ready to party.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like these guys, like they pretty much had a game plan coming in here. So
did they take you to jail?
Yeah. So as they're walking us down the hallway, we're all linked up together. We walk down this long ass hallway to get out the apartment complex. Then we walk down this hill to the paddy wagon. Mm-hmm. So everybody, as they're letting us into the paddy wagon, they handcuff one of us and leave 2 of us together. So it was 2 by 2.
Right.
So we ride downtown Rock Hill to the police department. It's like a 3-minute drive, and
Right.
We get there, and as we're getting out and going into the precinct to get booked in, they're searching us. So it's awkward that they didn't search us there,
right.
Search our person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They searched the room.
Well, first of all, what charges did they arrest you on?
It was because not possession of marijuana. Well, no, it ended up being possession of marijuana. So let me get to that. So as they're searching us as we go in, this one guy, and I won't say his name, but the cop asked him a question. He's like, woo, woo, or something like that, like mumbling. The cop's like, wait a minute, open your mouth. So by this time, he's taking a pen, going in his mouth. Guy has a gram of weed in his mouth that he could have ate, spit out on the way down to the paddy wagon, done anything with.
Man.
They charge all of us with possession of marijuana for this 1 gram of weed.
That was in someone's mouth.
That was in this one individual person's mouth.
Right.
So they
should he have spit or swallow? That's the
real
question.
I mean, either or at that point in time. Like,
I mean, no.
I would have easily ate that weed or spit it out on the way. There was plenty of opportunity where he wouldn't have been seen. Right. It was nighttime when we got arrested. So,
dude, but I mean, when things like that happen, people are like, "Oh, I'll act this way with cops," and it's a whole nother emotional, like.
I can agree with you on that, but it's like you're walking down a hill where there's no cop directly in front of you because it's one in the front, one in the back type shit, and you can literally spit this weed out like. Spit it in the grass, they would have a hard time finding it if you spit it right in front of them.
Now, are they going to link it to you or whatever?
Exactly.
Man, no, dude, bro, I wonder how bored fucking cops are. I mean, if they're like thriving coming to the show with like 10 handcuffs to get first. Initially, they arrested you over nothing, which is crazy. But then they're going to pin it on someone that spit it out. But let me ask, when you got to court, did all the charges get dismissed, dropped, or what?
Oh, no. So, no, and you got to remind you, we're in South Carolina.
Yeah, this is South Carolina.
Yeah, this is a different ball game. So,
oh, shit.
We all got probation. We had to have a probation officer that we had to check in with every single week, and we had to go to a drug class.
Wow.
Yeah, and this shit wasn't. It was like I think it's like $875 for the class.
Jesus Christ.
Plus the court costs.
And you're like, I'm here for a fucking gram of weed that someone spit out.
And we had to get a bail bonds to bail us out of jail.
Wow.
I mean, South Carolina was on one, and this was 2007.
Jeez.
I mean, I felt like it was almost like I got caught with a pound of weed.
Unreal. Yeah, that's absolutely unreal.
I mean, and that's when you can tell that it's clearly all about money.
Right.
Rock Hill definitely has an agenda. I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones that have been through this, regardless, with no hard evidence or finding some one person with marijuana instead of just charging him and letting us go.
Well, so actually, I had a similar story when I was in college. I think I was about 19 or 20 as well, and I was throwing this, just house party because I threw house parties. And I guess people were smoking upstairs. Someone opened the door, same kind of situation, and they did charge everyone and everything. And it was like literally over nothing, And it wasn't to that extent, but it's a pain in the ass, Why can't these resources be used more efficiently? Because it's not directly harming anyone.
Just make common sense,
Right. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I think there's definitely levels, people driving, like how do you manage and moderate things like that? I'm not going to sit here and say that for me, I don't like smoking. It's not my cup of tea. For me, it makes me okay with doing nothing. I like to be on the move. It just makes me okay with boredom. But people should have the freedom to decide, period. Right. And not have to fucking worry and have anxiety and fear over getting arrested with 10 people over a gram or, a smell.
Right. And, a lot of people smoke because of their anxiety. Opioids are more addictive. And I think, just for me, if instead of me taking something that would kind of dim me down a little bit. I don't know. I just look at all marijuana as an upper, even, sativas, indicas. I look at them all as uppers. I look at it as a creative tool, and, I hope that people find that too, sometimes, it's not always like that. I'll never say, every time I smoke, I want to go and create the greatest music or the greatest songs or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes I want to go kill myself at a Burger King drive-through.
It's like real life, like, I'm sad or, not even have any emotion attached to it at all, so.
Well, so talk to me more about, like, the weeds you smoke or what you're getting. Like, first of all, how easy is it for you to get weed out here in Raleigh?
Well,
like we don't have to talk about your plug, but like give me an idea, like how commonplace is it for you, or is it tough to get?
Yeah, no, for me, I'm not popular or anything, but I've been around Raleigh for quite some time, so I know just about everybody. And just to state fact, we've been smoking good in North Carolina probably 2005, realistically, where we were getting all the major cushes, like the old school hard, dense, like super light, brown haired kush, like everything in California was in North Carolina, specifically in Hillsborough, North Carolina, 2005. Maybe even a little bit before then, but realistically mainstream 2005. So I've been smoking good since then, like consistently.
How much better has it gotten since then?
Oh man, nowadays, these guys are breaking genetic code to find these specific taste palettes that you can, that you can put together on a weed. You hit a blunt of, I had a strand in California from Dr. Greenleaf, and it was an original cookie strand, strawberry shortcake.
Right.
The shit tastes like strawberry shortcake. Man. Like, it was dynamic. The strawberry taste was like I was eating a strawberry just in smoke form. Like, it was dynamic.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Man, it's crazy to me that, like, it's getting to a point, especially as the legality changes, that we might get to a point with weed where it's, like, on par with, like, wine.
Oh, for sure. You know? Maybe even more exquisite than that. Like, maybe even on par with food. Like, it's the taste palettes are amazing. Like, they're creating some shit now. Like, unbelievable.
See, that's interesting to me because, like, very much in the past, when I did smoke, it was like, is this good or bad? I just, when people gave me those names, like, this is that Rumpelmint Stiltskin or that, Eddie Murphy, like, I'm just like, get the fuck out of here, whatever. Like, I feel like people, I thought they were full of shit, but.
And then too, just going over to the West Coast where it's, most popular at right now, going into these dispensaries and
what's that like? So I've only been to a dispensary one time.
So let me give a quick shout out to Burner, the owner of Cookies. Let me tell you why you full of shit. Because the out of town state tax, if you don't have a marijuana card or you're not from California, is 24.8%. Shout out to Kobe for that number too.
24.8%.
24.8%. I paid $87 and like 37 cents for an eighth of weed.
Man.
Was it delicious? Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
But with the 24% tax rate on it?
I mean, literally a $35, $40 bag of weed for $87. I mean, it was good and it was very tasty, but
no fucking wonder it's a black market. Yeah. Like, even in a legal state. Like, and I've been reading things about that. It's like, why is there a black market for things? And, okay, cool. And then, it's like you look at cigarettes and, we're in North Carolina, and, we're next to Virginia. And I've known plenty of people that would scam and run, trash bags full of cigarettes up to New York.
And then you think about it too, think about the convenience of it. Your local dealer will pull right up to your house, know, or you guys can meet. Going into a dispensary, man, it's like going to a grocery store. There's 1,000 people in there, and then on top of that, you got to wait in line, a long line too. Like it's always somebody at the register cashing out.
Well, and I wonder how this kind of pans out. How would you feel running into someone at the weed dispensary? And I mean, it's kind of like the sex shop. Think of it that way. You casually run in. You're the Becky from the neighborhood mother or whatever. I wonder if there's a stigma attached to it for some people.
Well, when I went to the dispensary, I saw more people who I thought wouldn't have been smokers or even, use any type of marijuana product, anything with THC in it. And, I mean, I guess that was a misconception that was broken when I saw it, from my very own eyes. It was all age groups, from the 21s to the 61s,
Dude,
the 70s.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of definitely 40 to 55, that was like the main clientele.
Right.
They were tearing it up.
Well, even still with weed, one thing that interests me with history is that a lot of these smart people smoked, and like especially with the advent of computers. Or I read a statistic somewhere the other day that if you put on an application or on a job listing, right, that you're going to drug test, it's like 13 times harder to fill an IT level position.
Wow.
Right. So,
yeah.
I mean,
I if I was coding, I'd probably want to relax my mind for a little bit with some weed. Try to mellow things out.
Well, and I don't know how true this is nowadays, but there was a point in time where the government was having trouble, difficulty getting the right people, the best experts, because they all smoked weed.
Hey, man.
So
that's why the government's making all that money off of weed now.
Right.
It's all full circle, everything.
Well, and I mean, going back to the 30s, I don't think people get the main reasons it was made illegal. One, they definitely attached to racism, of course.
They
blame the Mexicans, blacks, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But also, too, was all the financial economic reasons. So you had these, you had paper companies, oil company, plastic companies, basically at threat, over a fucking plant.
Right.
They said Henry Ford's first car ran on hemp oil.
Yep.
You can make more durable clothing. Even William Hearst and paper, like hemp product would put paper out of business. The Constitution's written on hemp paper. And I think we were talking about it before. You were talking about the George Washington thing.
Yeah, his campaign trail. Yeah, he would prosecute you if you didn't have marijuana ready and waiting for him. Like he wanted the best of the best. So
right.
As he went through his campaign trail all up the the East Coast and whatnot, you had to have weed for him.
That's interesting.
Like boss status. Like I'm coming through, have my shit ready.
Right. Well, I know there was a lot of local ordinances and laws back then that stated that you had to grow hemp or weed or whatever.
Right.
But also too, this is a funny part of history. Those guys were all getting hammered. Like George Washington, I remember reading somewhere that he only became president because he rolled up to, the White House with just 30 gallons of whiskey or something like that. And if you could think about how difficult it back then would be to have to access.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's
30 gallons is a lot too.
Yeah,
it's hard to get 30 gallons of liquor today.
Right.
You can go to the ABC store right now and they probably won't have 30 gallons of liquor of the same thing in big containers. You'd have to probably get even like the little airplane bottles as well too.
Right. Well, there's only so much you can get before they're like, hey, we need you to sign this document.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's definitely controlled. But I think it's funny though because alcohol as well as weed is historically part of our culture so much. But then of course in the 30s, they 20s, 30s, they had prohibition, right? And instantly you take away alcohol from people,
right?
But where am I going with this? It's crazy that when they reinstated, the ability to drink, right, ended prohibition, how they instantly focused on weed. As well, you have all those economic, financial things going on.
They found a way to tax it, and then they shifted their focus to something else that they were going to eventually find a way to tax, even though it took a whole lot longer.
Right.
But now that they found a way to profit off of it, it is now the the number one revenue almost in the United States.
The number one illegal crop. And what's also crazy is like you look at states like Colorado, and the thing that I like most is that opioid overdoses have there's a strong correlation between that and legalization. Right. Opioid deaths are down below.
Right.
And I mean having something and it's crazy to me that of all the drugs that are legal out there, maybe there's some others, but all I can think of are alcohol and whippets. If you know what I'm talking about on the whippets. Yeah, you ever seen a whippet? Or have you ever done one?
No, I have not.
I can't believe of all things that are legal out there is a fucking whippet canister. It's like the whipped cream. You flip it up and.
Oh yeah, I've seen people do it, but I haven't done it.
And the only reason that's probably not illegal is because we've got to be able to make our cakes.
And put whipped cream on ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess that's a good reason to keep it legal, even if it's fucking dumb. But
can you do it with the cheese cans as well?
I don't think so. I don't think the cheese cans. But I don't know. I'm not an expert. I haven't bought one of those things in like ages.
Oh man.
So I feel like I'd cringe thinking of those.
But yeah, and two, I mean, just the culture all over the world, the United States, obviously with hip hop being one of the main genres of the world now, the focus on marijuana has definitely heightened. All these dispensary, all these creators of these new strands definitely have the hip hop community to thank for it because it's glorified in rap music, and it should be because it's a great thing, It's turned up in rap, and therefore it's turned up in the rest of the world as well.
No, I definitely see that. So it's definitely making its root. How about Mike Tyson? You hear about Mike Tyson trying to open a weed resort?
Oh, yeah. So Mike Tyson has a couple of great strands of marijuana. He
really?
Has his
like
own
patented in his name?
Yeah, he has his own line of marijuana. And if he opens up a weed resort, it'll be probably the most luxurious place around, man. Like he has real good product, and on top of that, I know he's into deep meditation now, so I'm pretty sure it'll be some humongous resort with like rooms and open space and like really tapping into your zen, beautiful things like this all around, Well,
we'll see. Mike Tyson's interesting for sure.
I can't wait till he fights Roy Jones Jr.
Man, that'll be pretty interesting. Yeah. So. Man, what time are we at? Let's see. I have no idea, but I hope the camera recorded. So let's cut it. Let's cut it here, man. I appreciate chatting with you. Maybe we'll come back and clip this together. I don't know.
Definitely, man. I mean, I'm here anytime to discuss whatever.
Indeed. All right, but you take care, man. Take it easy.
You too, bro.